Hi, I'm Ann Garcia. As the college financial lady and author of How to Pay for College, I've helped thousands of families save millions of dollars on college. This video is about how to file the FAFSA. It is the fifth video in a series, so I think it'll probably make more sense to you to watch the first four before you watch this one. Um, this portion of it is about inputting the student's information and then finishing it up. So the end is in sight. Congratulations. So here I am on this student financials tab. As I mentioned in the previous video, I'm using the FAFSA demo site that's for the FAFSA for the 2022 to 2023 school year. If you file the FAFSA starting anytime after October 2nd of 2022, you will be using the FAFSA for the 2023-2024 school year. And so here where it says 2020 tax return, you're actually going to be using 2021's income information. So we've already completed the parent financial information. Now we're on to the student. So this is going to ask if the student has completed a tax return. I'm going to say the student is not going to file because a lot of students don't file a tax return, and that's just fine. Obviously, since they don't file a tax return, the IRS data retrieval tool isn't available to them. Plenty of people, especially students, have income from work even though they don't file taxes. So let's assume this student had a summer job and made a little bit of money. So I'm going to enter that there. It'll also ask for additional financial information for the student, any child support that the student paid, earnings from work under a cooperative education program, and any earnings that were part of need-based employment, such as federal work study, that actually gets subtracted from the student's income. I'm assuming you're watching this because your student's a high school senior, so none of these are going to apply. Those are all going to be zeros, and I'm going to hit continue. Students might also have untaxed income. So if the student received any child support, again, this is if the student received it, not if the parent received it on behalf of the student. Same thing with so housing or other living allowances. These are again for the student. If you're ever unsure, just look at the top of the page and make sure that you are providing information for the person that it is asking about. If a student put any tax deferred retirement savings, did a pre-tax, not a Roth IRA, you would include that information here so that it gets subtracted or so that gets added back to their information. The big one that trips up a lot of students is this money received or paid on your behalf that's not reported elsewhere in the form. This is most typically something that appears for a student who is an existing college student who has a 529 account owned by someone other than their parent where they took a distribution from it. This isn't, grandparents giving them Christmas money or something like that. So chances are, if your student's still in high school, this number is going to be a 0. Students also report their assets. So if your student, assuming your student has a bank account that's probably got $1 or $2 in it, in particular, if they had a summer job in the summer of 2022 and made some good money. So let's assume that they might have $2,000 in their bank account. Then, of course, if they have a Robinhood account, if they have crypto, if they have anything like that, they're going to add that as their own asset. Their 529 account is a parent asset, not a student asset, so you don't put it there. If the student has a UTMA account, that is reported as their asset, so you would include it in here. A better process. It'll be better for you on the aid forms if their UTMA is converted to a 529 most of the time. And then again, if the student owns a business with more than 100 employees, they would include that information there. Most students don't. I'm going to put 0 and we move along. So good news, we've entered all of our data now, but as it says, we're not done yet. The first thing that it'll ask you to do is review all of this information so you can see all of your info that you've entered as we've gone through the FAFSA. Check it all, make sure it's all correct. I know it's a lot of lines of a lot of lines of data. When you get all the way to the bottom, if anything is incorrect, you want to change it, just hit the previous button and you can go back. But if it is all correct, you'll hit continue and move on to the signature page. So you're going to agree to the conditions and then sign your FAFSA. The good news is, since the student was signed in with their FSA ID, they have automatically signed it just by checking on that submit button. The parent is also going to need to sign it, so they're going to click on provide parent signature. You'll choose which parent you are, and then provide your signature. So here's a really important thing to note before you sign and submit. You are attesting, you are certifying that the information that you provided is correct to the best of your knowledge. So do make sure that that's true before you click on the submit button and hit continue. So then the parent is going to enter their FSA ID, and that will sign the form for them. If you don't want to use your FSA ID, you can, of course, print a signature page and mail it in, submit it without signature, but you will have to go back and sign it. Really, the best bet is to sign it electronically with your FSA ID. So that's it. That's how you file the FAFSA. Just make sure that you do both submit it, um, and and get going from there. If you'd like to learn more about strategies for reducing your expected family contribution as calculated by the FAFSA, or how to get merit scholarships, or anything else related to the college planning process, check out my online course, The College Financial Plan, on my website, howtopayforcollege.com. Use the discount code at the end of this video to get 10% off on the course, or check out my book, How to Pay for College, available from Amazon and bookstores everywhere. I'm Ann Garcia, the College Financial Lady and author of How to Pay for College. If you found this video helpful, please like it and subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much.